What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna give you all an update of my 2-gallon reef bowl back here, which has been a complete disaster. So it's about 2 weeks old, or 3 weeks old. It's 2-gallon total water volume. And I've been having a lot of problems with this tank. So I made a list and I'm gonna go through them all step by step, so stay tuned. So the first problem I'm having with this tank is with the lighting, which is provided from this Lamini quote-unquote reef LED fixture. The problem with this light is, one, it's not very powerful. So I have it turned pretty much all the way up. And you can see that these zoanthids here are just reaching for light, like they want more. So what I ended up doing was turning on the red and green channels on here to get some extra power. But unfortunately that makes all the colors of the coral too not really pop. So everything looks like a little bit drab. So for reference, like here are these utter chaos zoanthids. You can see what they look like here. And I'll take you to a different tank with the same coral from the same colony. And you can see the difference, which is really striking and dramatic in my opinion. Damn. So it seems like the colors just pop more under better lighting. So I think overall, the lighting was a little bit of a miss and a mistake. So in the future, I would not recommend using this Lamini fixture on any size tank, really. In addition, the light, because I had to turn up the red and green channels, seems to be growing a lot more algae than I'm kind of used to. And I don't know if this is 100% because of the light and the spectrum, but I kind of just suspect that it's not the best and algae really takes advantage of this kind of spectrum with the red and green in it. So the next mistake when setting up this bowl, I think, was using this crushed coral. So the problem with this is that it's a fairly thick layer, and I needed to make it fairly thick to get enough surface area to have rocks and mounting surfaces for corals and that kind of thing. And what happens here is I think like detritus and waste and stuff gets trapped underneath here. And it's really hard to clean just because there's not a lot of clearance in the bowl to get down there and pick stuff out or even use a turkey baster. So I think waste is, building up waste is gonna be a bit of a problem in this tank. It's already growing some funky algae here, which again could be because of the light, or it could be because of stuff just trapped under here and rotting, or probably both. So the third problem on my list is the coral selection. I actually think overall I did a pretty good job of picking out corals that are compatible for this kind of low maintenance environment. But the Possilopora I think was a bit of a mistake. I just see kind of the polyp shrinking, which is not a good sign. And it just sort of looks drab compared to the colony in my other tank, which I'll show you over here. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, I think you can see it pretty well on camera. But there's a lot more polyp extension and much better coloring. So the fourth issue with this tank is the glass distortion and the quality of the glass that this vase was made with. So because it's kind of bowl-shaped, it acts as a lens and stuff gets magnified differently or appears larger and smaller depending where it is in the bowl, which is a little bit hard to anticipate when you're placing corals and rocks, just because you're not really sure how it's gonna look until you put it in and you see, oh, it looks way too big or way too small or whatever. So that was a bit of a challenge, and I'm not sure I'd do it again. Additionally, you can see some like weird kind of reflections, like this white patch here. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. I guess it is. Which is just kind of funky. All of the room lights reflect off this thing. And also, as I mentioned, the quality of the glass isn't like great. I'll try and catch some on camera, but there are kind of these like streaks that run through part of it. And it's kind of hard to see on camera, but they do bother me when I'm in person looking at this tank. Okay, the fifth problem on the list, and I actually knew going in that this was going to be a problem, is it's really hard to clean the glass because of the shape of the bowl. So pretty much the tool I've been using is this small magnetic scraper, which works okay, but because there's some equipment in the tank, it doesn't reach all the way in the back. And it would be for surface film type of algae that comes off really easily, this is good, it works well. But for tougher algae like coralline, there's no way this scraper is gonna get it off. And so that leaves me with not a lot of options. Like, I don't think I could fit a razor blade in here to clean off the coralline when it inevitably grows all over the glass. So that's a bit of an issue and something I guess I should have thought more about. I kind of had it in the back of my mind that this was going to be a problem, but yeah, I think long term it'll be more of an issue. So the sixth problem on my list is the lack of mechanical filtration. I think actually it's really beneficial to have mechanical filtration. And going in, I thought, it's not a big deal. I'll just do big water changes and that kind of thing. But I really do think that having at least a little bit of mechanical filtration can go a long way. And this is maybe another reason that I'm seeing some algae, is because I have no means, without doing a big water change and stirring everything up, of removing stuff from the water. So yeah, that was a bit of a miss. And something I'd reconsider in future builds. The last problem on my list, number 7, is that this Siche pump is like very noisy. It kind of drives me crazy while I'm working here. So I'll try and move the camera closer to the pump and just be quiet to see if you guys can hear kind of the rattling. Hear that? So it drives me nuts. I would use a different pump in the future. It's kind of unfortunate because Siche is, it's a decent brand, and a lot of the pumps I've had from them aren't super noisy. But for whatever reason, this one is, and it's not like it's gunked up or there's something in the impeller. I had this problem when it was brand new, sitting in RODI water. So that's kind of unfortunate. And like for reference, I have a similar sized pump over here, and this pump was like $10 on Amazon compared to the $30 Siche pump. They move about the same amount of water, but this one is dead quiet. I can't hear it at all. So this is one of those cases where more money doesn't necessarily get you a better product. I just think this $10 Amazon pump worked out a lot better. So unfortunately, this bowl experiment didn't really work out well, but all is not lost because I've thought about what made this problematic, and I've kind of refined it in a different, similar sized Pico Reef tank, which I think is gonna be a lot more successful long term. So I'll definitely do a video about this one in the future. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, definitely subscribe to the channel because that'll be coming soon. So for now, we're just gonna break down this tank. We're gonna move all of the corals somewhere. I have 3 tanks to, well, I guess 2 now, to move the corals to. So I'll probably put some of them in this new Pico and then move the rest of them back to my 65-gallon tank, one of the frag racks over here. So overall, the Pico Reef bowl was a big miss. I like to not only document successes, but also document my failures, and I have plenty of them. So I hope you liked the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to drop a comment below if you have feedback or things you think I could have done better on this bowl. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you're not already. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.